What is going on, guys? Pumpson87 here, and it's been a while. I'm finally back with a video, a Racing League video. We have joined AOR, the new AOR Oceania League, and yeah, it's good to be back finally. After leaving all the league chaos behind and indecisions and stuff like that, I've decided that I've retired from ASR, which is it's a shame, but I have joined instead AOR. Apex Online Racing. I'm sure a league all of you will know about. It's a top tier that everyone wants to get into, and I'm in the top tier for Xbox One, racing pretty much all the quickest guys in the Australian region, whether that includes Ben, New Zealand Ryan, Dominator, Warden, all of the guys you've probably seen in my league racing videos so far, and plus one or two more as well. So I can't wait to get into it. First race is Hungary, following the actual AOR calendar. And it's an intermediate start to the session. Haven't done any wet weather practice on this game by an ages actually, so I was kind of very underprepared for this. I was sort of doubting there'd be any wet weather in this game, as I haven't raced in a league race with wet weather in ages, so I just sort of forgot to practice for it really. We got P9 on the grid, sort of was an average qualifying, but this is the first race for the Apex Online Racing. 5 lights on the screen now. And it is lights out and away we go. We've got 13 people today, P9 on the grid. We get a pretty awful start, very wheel spinny. Not ideal, really, not ideal. Dropped to P10 already, make that P11 as the 2 cars gone up our inside. There's a big open gap on the outside line. We're going to take that, hold it round the outside of a lot of people, nearly holding around the outside of Aaron in 8th place, and that actually pays dividends really quite nicely as they back up into P9 from our awful start. But we get blocked slightly from Aaron, who just sort of moved slightly into braking, that's fine. And then we understeered with the path of Harry and Ryan. And we've been forced out a little bit wide. There's a little bit of chaos ahead. Now we're switching to the screen of Harry Ryan, who's getting blocked a bit by the Williams of Fens, who went quite wide. And that allowed Massimo to get through. He's gone quite wide, following the Force India. And it's the Haas of me holding it round his outside. A little bit of a wheel spin as there was a bit of contact. But look how close we get there. Very close to spinning and touching. And now we're holding it side by side through the chicane. And I get the move round the outside of the chicane on Harry Ryan. Very good racing from the McLaren drivers, very fun battle on the opening lap so far, but it's probably not over yet. Unfortunately, that move did cost me quite a few about 2 seconds to the cars ahead of Berserk and the massive train going through the end of the second sector. And now we've gone slightly wide on that right-hander, and Harry Ryan's having a look down my inside, but I give him room on the apex, hold it round his outside. But he's not giving up yet. He's going down the inside of the Porto corner. Once again, I have to leave the room for the McLaren driver, and we go side by side through there. Very respectful driving, and it's a very intense battle on the opening lap of this race. So we're still in rich mix, trying to pull away from the McLaren driver as a complete lap one, tiptoeing in these conditions. But I think Harry Ryan is running slightly less downforce than me in this race, and he's going to use slipstream and the braking power. I mean, broke really quite late there. I broke really quite early. And he's going down the inside. A little bit of wheel spin, and that was so close once again to him touching my side pod and either one of us going spinning off. But this time I brake much later and cover the line so we can't get past. Then we cover off the switchback as well. There's no chance for Harry Ryan to get past us this time, and I believe he actually made a small mistake there, lost the back end, and that gave me a bit of breathing space to go through the tricky turn 4. Somehow we didn't get a penalty for exceeding track limits there, but there we go, on the start lap 2, a little bit behind the pack now, and I'm sort of not really catching through the rest of the stint, unfortunately. The guys had it really quick. That's my first real mistake as well, though, as I went slightly wide, lost the back end, and we go slightly wide once again through the right-hander. We had pulled about a 2 to 3 second gap to Harry Ryan as well, but unfortunately closed up with that small mistake I did there. I think I lost about a second or so. But now lap 9, and someone spun off. It's Mercedes Dominator, who's really struggling in these conditions. He's usually a really quick driver, and I know he was practicing a lot during the week in the dry around Hungary. I think he was pretty confident in his pace, and that's my first warning of the race, I'm pretty sure, as well. Somehow I survived all the way to lap 9 of only, well, with no warnings, pretty much. So pretty good so far. And now at the end of that lap, Jeff has called on the radio to say that we're switching to dry tyres, and I don't want to make any more pit stops to the end of this race. We're going straight to the mediums, no messing about, and we're going to take these tyres all the way to the end, as you do. Harry Ryan is coming to the pit lane behind me, and there's quite a few stackings ahead. I believe a OCEANIA got stacked. I think that was Aaron actually. Sorry, Berserk, I believe he was just ahead of me on the road. I believe Warden got stuck behind his teammate, so he's just emerged just ahead of us, so he's lost a lot of time. He's on the soft tyres though, so he could be making moves for the rest of this race. There's a bit of wheel spin, very tricky, very slippery conditions. Probably still not fully time for dry tyres, and it's still very slippery, very tricky conditions to drive the car. Just getting a feel for the grip levels so far, and it's very tricky, especially when you're trying not to make a mistake. But it was actually a lap early, as funny enough, the next lap DRS wasn't able. So if he pitted in the next lap, I probably would have got a good advantage over the guy's head. But whatever, that's just one of those things. Dominator's now recovering from his earlier spin. He overtook Harry Ryan, and now he's closing down on me. He's also on the medium tyres, but as I said before, he's very quick in the dry now that the conditions are drying on this track. As for me, I was still sliding all over the place, and that was a really poor exit there. So I was sort of, you know, trying to get a feel for the conditions again. I mean, I wasn't that quick. As I said, I didn't do any wet practice, and I was sort of slow, not really reading the conditions that well. That's sort of my weakness so far, as I felt. And now we're going through the end of the first sector. We go through turn 4 nicely. We've got Dominator looking down at inside, poking his nose down there. I saw the proximity error and opened the steering wheel. Otherwise, I would have probably me spun out there. Lucky I saw that and avoided. He was going for a very cheeky move there. And now we'll go through the final corner. I'm going to race hard with the Dominator. There's no point letting him quick. I know he's quick, but miles are racing as well. No harm in doing that. We defend the inside line, going on the straight, but he puts me in the wall! Dominator going for a gap that didn't exist. Just put me in the wall and lost half my front wing. Just great, really. Yeah, it means they're going to make another pit stop, and now we have broke ourselves with the front wing damage, just understeering off like a boat, and that's a spin round as we put our wheels on the AstroTurf. Our luck can't change in league racing, can it? I feel like I didn't do anything wrong there. We're going to have a slow-mo replay of the instance. And yeah, I defended early. I was clearly on the inside line, my steering wheel didn't change, and he just went for a gap that didn't exist and just touched my rear end into the wall. Lost us both a lot of front wing and just greatly affected our race. I mean, don't know what he was going for. In fairness, he apologised to me afterwards, but the damage had already been done. I'm already so far behind New Zealand around the race leader, and I haven't even made my pit stop yet. So it's just going bad from us. I nearly sped into the pit lane there, by the way. That was so close to being a speeding penalty, and if I got a penalty, then I would have just raged like a mother trucker. But yeah, now we've got to change the front wing, and all the while I'm getting further and further behind the pack. Chimchar is the guy who's just ahead of me, my teammate, my fellow Haas driver, and he's just completed sector 1 and I'm not out of the pit lane yet. That's how far behind I am. So my race going to utter shit, unfortunately. Yeah, and at this point, I was just trying to recover any lost time I could. And I ended lap 17. I was using Rich a lot that lap, and I set a personal best, or fastest lap of the race, I mean, with a 1:20.7, I believe it was. So I was pushing a lot. Now I was on the soft tyres. I can just about take these to the end. So I was really pushing still, trying to get back to the pack, as the track is now fully dry. I can push now the track surface is good, but unfortunately Ryan beat my fastest lap time. Pretty annoying. So moving away from my crappy race, we have a look at we're overtaking Aaron down the inside into the start of sector 3. No, this is on board with VSR Fens, who's made a video of this, so go check out his channel. Not only is he you know, growing as a YouTuber, he's also growing in car skill as well. He's definitely improved his performance, and he will be a real dark horse during this league, I feel. And he's overtaken not 2 but 3 cars now. Looking on the inside of Warden 99, he has very good braking confidence down in that corner for some reason. Just mugged 3 people off at the same corner during that race, so congrats to him. And he actually moved to P3 in the time that it took me to just catch up all the time that I lost to Chimchar. In fairness, I did actually catch up a lot of time. I think it was about 25 seconds I was behind after the pit stop, and now I'm about 5 seconds behind. So I caught up a lot of time during my stint, but unfortunately, just pushing a bit too hard, and that's me spun off. It's a very weird back end loss. I haven't had a spin like that in actual ages in this game, so very weird. But to be fair, my race has already won by then. And as you can see, the mini-map, New Zealand Ryan is only about 5 seconds behind me now. So at this point, I was just focusing. I don't want to get lapped. That'd be really humiliating in my first AOR race. So I got to finish in the lead lap. I've got to do that. And sure enough, New Zealand Ryan finishing not far behind me on track at all. But back to the battle for second. This is Fens versus Proza, and Proza actually had a screen freeze glitch there, which allowed Fens to get back through. But sure enough, Proza now looking down the inside line, but the inside line is blocked off by Fens in the Williams, and not really much Proza can do there, as Fens had things covered in the battle for second, and they finished in that order at the end of the race, with New Zealand Ryan winning his first race in AOR Oceania League. I can't speak today. So congrats to him. I believe Ben finished 4th and 5th was like Warden, I believe. So congrats to all those guys. Harry Ryan finished 10th. I feel like I would have got points, definitely points, had I not had the incident with Warden. I feel like I had Harry Ryan covered, and I feel like I would have got 8th, possibly, maybe even 7th. I don't know. As a lot of guys did actually 2-stop. They were on the softs and then pitted for the supers later on. So I would have got truck position over them. Whether they would have taken me later on, I'm not quite sure. Who knows? But I feel like my dry pace is definitely better than my wet pace. I just didn't have a chance to show it, really. Which is a big pity, but not much I can do. So my first AOR race ever, pretty disappointing. Just my luck in this game hasn't changed. Still pretty unlucky, whether it's being taken up by lag or taken out by fellow league racer. Not much I can do, but hopefully I'll have better luck for AOR Belgium, which will be the next race, I'm pretty sure. So hopefully I'll have good luck then. So I'll see you guys for that race, and for whatever video might be next to my channel. So I'll see you guys then. Palms out.